Hey, everybody, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today, we're going to be taking a look at this really interesting Ask Men Advice thread about a woman's Valentine's Day gift. And, well, it's really got us thinking about how men feel about gifts.
Yeah, the emotional response is fascinating.
Okay, so basically, the woman forgot about Valentine's Day, which, it happens.
Happens to the best of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And her partner showered her with the classic gifts and everything. And so she kind of last minute grabbed him some One Piece merch because she knows he loves anime. And he like teared up when he opened it.
Wow.
And so now she's like wondering, are men really that simple?
I think the reactions in the thread show it's probably not about being simple.
Right. So let's get into it. So many of the top comments are talking about how rare it is for men to get gifts that actually acknowledge their interests, especially like geeky stuff or, things that are seen as childish.
Right.
One commenter said, it's exceedingly rare that anyone buys us a thing that reflects our secret world.
That's powerful.
Right. It's like they're not just getting an object, they're getting that validation.
Exactly. Like they're being seen
Yeah.
for who they are.
And the thread even compares it to how, like, women often get gifts that the giver thinks they should want, not what they actually want.
Yeah. One commenter said, women tend to get guys gifts the woman thinks the guy should want. Men tend to get gifts for women that the women want but won't get for themselves.
It really makes you think, huh?
Yeah. Like, are we really paying attention when we give gifts?
And so many of the men are talking about the emotional impact of getting this gift. Like, it wasn't just about getting a cool thing. It's about feeling cared for.
There's a quote that really hit me, and it says, it's not about being simple, it's about never feeling cared for.
Wow.
That really sums it up, I think.
It does make you wonder, like, why are so many men feeling this way? What's going on in our society that leads to this?
Right. Like, what are the root causes here?
Exactly.
When you look into it, there's actually a lot of research on this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like developmental psychology shows that boys tend to get less emotional support and less physical affection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, compared to girls. I mean, so they're kind of taught from a young age to, like, suppress their emotions.
Must be tough and all that.
Exactly. Like, man up, don't cry, all those messages. And it kind of creates this disconnect, between what they're feeling and how they're allowed to express it.
It's almost like society's telling them that their feelings don't matter as much.
Yeah, and, suppressing emotions like that can have consequences.
I bet.
Yeah, it can be harder to connect with your own emotions and to form those deep, meaningful relationships.
Which kind of brings us back to that gift, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was validating those feelings that maybe they'd been told to push down.
Exactly, and it's not just about the fandom. It's about someone accepting a part of them that they may have felt like they had to hide.
And that's got to feel amazing, right? Like to have someone finally see that part of you and accept it.
Think about it. Have you ever had someone, like, dismiss your interest or not take something you care about seriously?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's like that feeling of invalidation. And for men who are told to kind of, like, keep those emotions in check, it can be even more intense.
So what can we do about it? Like, how can we be more supportive of the men in our lives?
I think awareness is a big part of it, recognizing that those expectations exist and that they actually impact men's lives.
Okay, so like calling out those man-up comments and stuff.
Yeah, and encouraging open communication, making it safe for them to express themselves.
So it's not just about gifts. It's about, like, changing how we interact with them.
Yeah, it's about creating that culture of empathy and understanding.
It's crazy how many men in the comments resonated with this story.
I know, right? Like, it really struck a chord.
It seems like there's a bigger conversation we need to be having about men's emotional needs.
Absolutely. We need to keep listening to their experiences and challenge those old stereotypes about what it means to be a man.
It's about creating a world where everyone feels seen and heard,
Yeah, where everyone feels valued for who they are.
This has given me so much to think about. What are some things we can do to make a difference in our own lives and relationships? So it sounds like it all comes down to, how do we really show up for the men in our lives? Like, in a way that actually, honors who they are and what they need.
Yeah, it's a real shift in perspective, Instead of trying to, like, fix men, it's about recognizing that they're already worthy and just creating a space where they can be themselves.
So it's more than just buying a nice gift every now and then.
Right, it's like fostering that open communication, being supportive when they share their feelings.
Even if those feelings are, tough to hear sometimes.
Exactly. It's about validating those experiences and showing them that we believe in them and their ability to grow.
And letting go of all those old ideas about what it means to be a man, you know.
Yeah, and it's not just about changing how we interact with men, it's about looking at our own biases too.
What do you mean?
Think about the things you heard growing up about men and masculinity. Like, did you ever hear boys don't cry or man up?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even those little phrases contribute to that culture where men feel like they can't express their emotions.
So how do we break free from those patterns?
It takes effort, you know? Like noticing those biases in yourself and your language and then challenging them.
Like rewiring our brains to see men as whole people.
Exactly, and it creates this ripple effect, you know? Like when we model that acceptance, it can inspire others to do the same.
So we can build a world where it's okay to be vulnerable.
Yeah, where emotional intelligence is valued and men feel empowered to embrace their full selves.
And it's not just men who benefit from this, right? Like when men feel safe to express themselves, it creates stronger relationships for everyone.
Exactly. It's a win-win. We create a more compassionate world and our relationships become deeper.
This deep dive has really shown me that even the smallest actions can make a huge difference.
Yeah, like a thoughtful gift, a real conversation, just taking the time to listen.
It's about recognizing that everyone deserves to feel seen and heard and valued for who they are.
If you enjoyed this conversation about masculinity and emotions, we encourage you to share this episode with your friends and family.
Yeah, these are important conversations to have, and the more we talk about it, the more we can create that culture of empathy and understanding.
And don't forget to subscribe to Voices of the Soul for more deep dives like this one.
We love exploring these complex topics and, helping people connect on a deeper level.
You can also find Shauna Pelage on YouTube, where she shares tons of insights on relationships, self-discovery, and so much more.
Thanks for joining us on this journey. And until next time, keep those conversations going and keep diving deep into what it means to be human.